Top of the morning, man. Top of the tops, man. It's early in the morning. It's about 6 a.m. I don't know what time it's going to be by the time y'all get this video. It's uploading on my phone. And that stuff takes a long time sometimes, depending on what I got going on. But it's Rich Rapper tapping in. Early in the morning, news you can use. Some knowledge you ain't finna get nobody's college, big dog. I am on my way to weightlifting. I'm lying. It's 5:58. 5:58 in the morning in Atlanta. 2:58 in the morning in LA. Hope y'all getting y'all good rest in while I'm doing this. News you can use, knowledge you can't get nobody's college, big dog. Tap in. We here at TNN Trap News Network. Let's just jump through a couple quick little topics. You feel me? I've been seeing the thing going on with Yuris, Trell, and I guess Yuris versus everybody, maybe. I'm not really 100% sure. I saw the information being leaked about the smorshing and all that. I'm not going to get into that. And again, the reason why I'm not going to get into that is a woman having a smorshing is something that I don't think, for my platform, has any real needed reason to be platformed or talked about or spoken about, or anything like that. I don't think there's any real reason when it comes to me giving y'all news y'all can use and knowledge you can't get in college that this woman's personal life should really come into the effect of, or any of these women's personal lives, whether it be their girlfriends, baby mamas, wives, or whatever, blah, 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 and all that, even if it's R&B. We're not gonna put out nothing too crazy about R&B. You feel me? You know, it was the videos of Sharice Mills. People have sent me. I'm not gonna put none of that out. That's out. I'm not into that. You feel me? So I'm not gonna expose nobody's personal information about your baby mama, about your whatever. I'm not into it. I'm not gonna get into a public war with a woman for any reason on social media and any type of level, despite the fact of all things. I'm not saying that's what they doing. I'm saying that that's just a topic that I'm personally staying away from, and I don't think that it's necessary for my platform. So now that we've gotten that out the way, DJ Academics finessed Luce Cannon out of a Lil Durk interview yesterday. Good finesse. Not too much was actually even said, but if you go back and you look at Luce Cannon, wife's Instagram, she's all happy. Yeah, me and academics. Yeah, look at what we did. You go back and you look at DJ Academics' page, that shit said, nigga, look what I did. I got this Lil Durk interview. It ain't nothing even mentioned that Luce Cannon put the situation together, put the play together on the phone. It was no Luce Cannon, free Luce Cannon, and nothing. Nothing at all, bro. So DJ Academics basically finessed Luce Cannon. Now, this is what I will say. In the aspect of doing media, in the aspect of this world we live in, as far as getting exclusive content, exclusive interviews, DJ Academics did what he had to do to get what he had to get done. I ain't mad at that ninja at all. It's definitely worth going back and listening to the maybe an hour and some change content with Sharice Mills and DJ Academics. I think it's worth it. A lot of interesting things was brought up. They tapped on the relationship that Sharice Mills tapped on a relationship that Luce Cannon has with WACK100, or doesn't have with WACK100, about WACK100 snitching on Luce and setting him up for failure and all this and all that. It's been made very apparent by Sharice Mills that Luce Cannon has not dropped a single, that WACK100 has not dropped a single dollar off on his god baby, which is Luce Cannon's child. There hasn't been a single incredible diaper in sight. That has not been released yet to anybody. So it's interesting to see that WACK is always like, yeah, that's my god baby. But it's look, bro, these cars that don't have nobody driving it is crazy to me. Ain't nobody driving this car, bro. There's nobody in here. I mean, I know y'all seen the Waymo cars, but there's nobody in there. Would y'all get in a self-driving car? Random off topic. Would y'all get in a self-driving car? Personally, I'm not. I'm not. Because I feel like once you apply for it, and you accept the terms and conditions, you're accepting the fact that if something happens to you in a car, it ain't their fault, it's your fault. Because you was stupid enough to get into a car that drove itself. So I'm not gonna get into that. Anyway, yeah, so Sharice Mills made it clear that WACK100 has not dropped off a single dime. Onto the commissary of Luce Cannon for any reason, excuse me. So that's an interesting concept. You have dudes like Compton Rick Rock even dropping off money for Luce Cannon. You know, they were, I don't want to say enemies, but like, you know, online foes, character foes, because nobody got actually hurt. No blood was spilled, no money was lost, no property was damaged. So they was online foes, character foes, if you will. The two characters that they portrayed were foes. Yeah, man, it's interesting though to see WACK not taking care of his people. Now, we do know that WACK is going through an extreme financial hardship to where he is being sued for almost $1.5 million, you know, 1.5, you feel me? And that's through a string of lawsuits, a string of fraud, a string of just flammery, skullduggery, and larceny that he's been a part of. So I'm not gonna say it don't make sense why you can't drop off 50 on your homie books, especially with the relationship that y'all had. But it does make sense that WACK is having a hard time providing, because if you guys don't know, you ain't heard WACK mention that studio on Beck Ave in a while. Y'all ain't heard WACK mention no Cash Money West, Incredible Diapers, what happened to all the trips to Jamaica and Dubai and all that kind of stuff. Like, all that's been very quietly removed from his situation, removed from his ways of living. So, you know, there's that. So that's an interesting situation, because it's clear that Sharice Mills is not really too fond or too keen on anything that WACK has going on. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how I feel about that, so I'm not finna, whatever, who cares? You got the IBM Hoodlum guy getting into a crazy blowout with Gigi. That's Luce Cannon's real wife. For those of y'all who don't know, Sharice Mills is Luce Cannon's baby mama girlfriend, ghetto wife, wifey, where you have Gigi, who is actually on paper in front of God and a judge, Luce Cannon's wife. Gigi and Sharice are having their back and forth, of course, as wife turning ex-wife and new girlfriend. Of course, you know, they're gonna have what they're gonna have. And as men, you know, we expect it. Women get into what they get into. Where the IBM Hoodlum guy comes in with so much vigor and expression towards this, I'm not really sure. Not really sure what his motives are. Not really sure what his thinking for the situation is, because Luce Cannon's in the federal penitentiary and Gigi has a restraining order against him. So why IBM Hoodlum will be passing threats to Gigi on behalf of Luce Cannon, true or untrue, is a very incredible situation to put your friend who's in a federal penitentiary in. Gigi and Luce Cannon have two open cases where Luce Cannon has warrants for domestic abuse. One stemming from a fight in a hospital where Luce Cannon attacked Gigi while she was in the hospital with their child, and another one, I forgot what the other DV is from, but it's early. I want to say something to do with, oh no, it's like to do with like a robbery or whatever, where she, Luce Cannon had their house that they lived in robbed, and it's the whole thing. So there's a lot. Go back and watch my my interview with Gigi. It's all broken down. And then like I also did reactions on the conversations with her and the dude IBM Hoodlum. Now, what makes it crazy is IBM Hoodlum is calling Gigi, not knowing that Gigi's on fucking YouTube Live, bro. Calling her on YouTube Live, and we all heard that man say he was gonna put a bullet in her head, or put a hole in her head, or something to the effect of. And that's not the type of attention that Luce Cannon needs as he's going into this federal indictment, going into this courtroom, going into this entire situation, because it's gonna make it clear that, you know, even from behind bars, he has people who are willing to act on his behalf in a salacious way that is a detriment and a threat to the community. So that's gonna be ugly. And then let's keep in mind too that Luce Cannon has 2 more cases against Gigi. I'm sorry, Gigi has 2 more cases against Luce Cannon for the domestics, where these will be brought up in court, these situations. So, you know, Gigi's response is, I'm not tripping. Tomorrow I'm going to the prosecutor and to the FBI. Cannon still has people calling me from you know, the streets while he's in jail, and they're threatening me, and they're so dedicated to him and to his gang, IBM, that they're willing to call me and threaten me and blah, 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 this and blah, 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 that. That's going to be horrible. And whether it's done on Luce Cannon's behalf or not, the fact that IBM Hoodlum was so boisterous about it being on behalf of Luce Cannon is where the situation is going to turn into a problem, and where the judge is going to have a hard time not judging Luce Cannon in totality off this situation and connecting him with all the other pieces of situations that he himself has admitted to. Being a gang leader, being Big U's right-hand man, being an enforcer, being this, being that. All this shows is that you're now trying to step outside of being an enforcer to being the top dog. With that being said, man, I'll be back later on today to give y'all some more news y'all can use, some more knowledge. I ain't finna get nobody's college. I'm finna get back to training, man. I had that hard loss this weekend. So I'm about to get back in the gym, back on the mat, and I'm finna get my shit together because I ain't finna take no more losses. I'm not feeling it. You know what I'm saying? So I am actually about to go get my ish together. But y'all know the deal though. Be better today than what you were yesterday. Be even better tomorrow. But today be at your best. Red dots to the left. You know the rest. And it's free Avenue Angel, so it's free. We go.